What is up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, my name is Lex and thank you for clicking on today's video. Today I thought I would do another maceration update you guys on some Middle Eastern fragrances and see where they are 1 year later. Okay, so these are all Middle Eastern fragrances that I purchased at least 1 year ago, if not a little bit longer. So some of these I purchased last fall, last winter. I wanted to give you guys an update on all of the ones that I still have in my collection, some that I may have liked, that I may have been unsure on, and just give you guys my thoughts. And I always tell y'all, you have to let the Middle Eastern fragrances sit. Even the ones that I loved right off the bat, they just got better and better with time. You have to have a little bit of patience and let these things sit and develop and really just come to their full potential before you write them off. I do try to give all of my Middle Eastern scents at least a month or two before I make my final decision. Since I've had all of these for a year, definitely have some thoughts on them. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first one that we are going to discuss is going to be Lattafa's Badee Al Oud Sublime. This one is inspired by Kayali's Eden Juicy Apple. And I love this when I got it, and I still absolutely love this scent, y'all. If anything, I feel like the fruity notes that are in here, the apple and the berries, have come out even more since I got this. I wore it a few times over the summer when I went home to visit my family, and my mother, who I usually don't even share the same fragrance taste as, absolutely loved this and demanded that she receive a bottle as well. So my mom got this. She absolutely loves it, is obsessed with this. This is another one that is a compliment getter. If you love those sweet apple candy type of scents, that is what this smells like to me. It definitely adapts the Kayali Eden Juicy Apple DNA, but it's not as punchy and syrupy sweet as that scent. I feel like it scales back a bit from that, and it's just a great layering scent if you love your sweet fruity fragrances. Like, I think this is another one that's great year round. You can wear it spring, summer, fall, winter. I personally love a sweet apple scent like this in the wintertime, in the fall time, because you can layer it with all of your other richer scents. And apple is just another fruit note that I feel like layers really well with both florals and gourmand scents. So absolutely love this one. Not the longest lasting though. That's the one thing I would say about it. This is not like beast mode or long lasting, but sometimes I am in the mood for that. So this is definitely a great everyday casual throw on and go, or like I said, layering scent that you don't have to think twice about. From the same collection, we also have one here that I was a little unsure of at first. This is the Badee Al Oud Noble Blush. I love the bottles themselves. Like, the bottles themselves are just stunning, gorgeous. They're heavyweight bottles and you're getting a ton of juice in here. This one, when I first got, if I can recall, I said it smelled like rose scented bath milk, and it smelled like the Dove pink bar of soap. And honestly, I still feel that way, but I will say this has definitely gotten more of that sweet, creamy, gourmand, like syrupy sweetness that I wanted from the beginning. It still gives me the Dove pink bar of soap, but I definitely get more of a milky lactonic almond milk in here as well. So it's really just mixing together to give you this kind of girly, fluffy, clean, sweet gourmand, if that makes sense. And I really enjoy this one as well. So if I could compare this to any fragrance, this kind of reminds me a little bit of a mix between Delina without the sour fruit note and Carolina Herrera's Good Girl Blush. It just has this lactonic sweet creaminess about it. This is definitely one of those girly sweet scents that's going to make you feel heavy in your feminine energy, okay? And this is another one that is great to wear every day, an easy reach, or something you can wear for date night. I really enjoy this one as well, so she will definitely be getting kept. Now next we have one that I was absolutely obsessed with from the moment that I got it, Royal Musk Caramel Toffee. This pretty much does smell for the most part about the same as when I got this, but on the opening I get this very delicious buttery caramel toffee scent, and I absolutely love it. However, this does have kind of a clean, powdery, musky dry down, so you do have to like your almost baby powder musk type of scents, because that is what I get from here in the dry down. And I do wish that the caramel lasted a bit longer in this. I feel like I really only get that super sweet caramel toffee scent in the opening of this scent, but once it fully dries down, it does dry down to be more of a clean, powdery fragrance. I find that I have to constantly reapply for me to get that caramel toffee that I really like, but I do still really enjoy the scent, and I reach for this a lot when I'm going to bed because it gives me just enough sweetness but still makes me feel very clean. Of course, you could layer this as well. I don't love it as much as I did when I first got it because of that. I just wish it was a little bit more long lasting on the caramel toffee sweetness, but like I said, I can see myself finishing finishing this. This is definitely giving me a bedtime scent, and I still really enjoy this one. On to another one that I was loving as soon as I got it, Qissa Delicious by Paris Corner. This one, you guys, is basically a citrusy chocolate and marshmallow scent, and I still love this fragrance, you guys, but to this day, this one just does not have great projection or longevity, okay? This one is absolutely one that I had to constantly reapply. Even now to this day, it does last a bit longer, but I would say I get a good hour, maybe 2 of strong performance before I'm like, okay, I can't smell this anymore. So it could be that I go nose blind to the scent, but this is, again, another one of those easy reach, throw on and go. You don't have to think twice. You're just going to smell soft, creamy, and sweet. Even when fragrances are not beast mode, I do have a time, a place, and a mood for those types of scents in my collection. So that is why I don't even always write fragrances off because of that. Because when you are someone like me and you have a very large collection, sometimes you don't want something super strong. Another one that I would wear to bed, possibly wear to the gym, possibly wear to work if I don't want to wear something super rich and thick, but I still want to smell just warm and fuzzy and cozy. Creamy marshmallow citrus scent, and I still love it. It's just not going to be the longest lasting or the most projecting, but if you like a simple, easy reach, sweet gourmand fragrance with a very prominent marshmallow note, this is definitely one you should still check out. Okay, y'all, I feel like we're just coming out the bat swinging with like all of the ones that I really loved, but this is another one that I still to this day love that I'm actually wearing today. This is none other than Lahdath by Lattafa, and the bottle itself is just something that I've always loved. Like, I love this just for the bottle alone, but this is inspired by one of my absolute favorite signature scents, Maceration's Roses Vanille. Basically, y'all, this is Maceration's Roses Vanille with a very prominent sweet caramel note added and not as much of that sharp lemony opening. If you have never smelled Maceration's Roses Vanille, first of all, I personally would say that in the fragrance community is one of the most highly complimented fragrances by men in the women's perfume category. So if you are looking for a nice, easy reach or a good signature scent that just feels feminine and girly, that is going to get you some compliments from the opposite sex, Maceration's Roses Vanille is hands down a great, excellent choice. But I've always felt like with Roses Vanille, it does open up with kind of a strong lemon opening, and some people aren't a fan of how strong the lemon is at first, even though it dries down without that sharp lemon, and it just dries down to this very syrupy, sweet vanilla and rose combo, which are 2 of my favorite notes together. I love vanilla and rose together in a scent. Takes out that sharp lemon and adds a smooth, rich, delicious caramel note, caramel, roses, and vanilla cream, and it smells so incredibly good. Oh my god, y'all. To this day, this is one of my faves. This one also is not beast mode, and it's not like extremely long lasting, but I would say it's kind of mid-tier to where I still get at least 3 to 4 hours of both projection as well as longevity. And then at that point, of course, I do need to reapply, but I really don't mind reapplying because it's just like, if we aren't reapplying our scents and going through our fragrances, like, when are we ever going to use anything up? You know what I mean? For me, for someone who has a large collection, I need to get these things up now, okay? So I am about 75% done with this one. I've absolutely been loving it, and I do want to try and finish this one up before the year is over. Now that I have gone through a few full-size bottles of Maceration's Roses Vanille, I do think I preferred this one just a hair more because of that caramel notes. Before we talk about this one in particular, which is Zimaya's Tiramisu Caramel, I did already declutter the Tiramisu Coco, so I can speak on that one. While I did really like that one at first, the performance of it just never got better for me. And I also have 2 other perfumes in my collection that I feel like basically give me the vibe of that one, but last longer and are just more pronounced in scent. That one was kind of a toffee cookie forward type of scent, and it was nice. I just felt like the performance, the projection was not great. I could barely smell it when I did spray it, so I went ahead and let that one go. But this is Zimaya's Tiramisu Caramel. This one is basically in the same family as all of our Bianco Latte dupes. It is honey, lactonic, caramelly fragrances, but this one reminds me a bit of Kadlage's Cream Velvet, just without that butter. It's kind of like you're taking Bianco Latte and you're taking out the rich thickness of it, and you're adding a little bit more honey and more of this ambery dynamic. So this basically just smells almost like a butterscotch caramel candy in comparison to Bianco Latte really giving you all those rich lactonic dense layers. This is kind of a lightweight spin on that. So I actually like to layer this with the caramel musk to give me more of that candy caramel note that I was wanting. It is not as beast mode as Bianco Latte, and I would not say that this is a straight up Bianco Latte dupe, but I find that this is a more wearable Bianco Latte inspired fragrance. And if you are someone who loves a caramel forward, caramel candy type of scent. This is definitely a good one to pick up, and another one that I would consider an easy reach every day or layerable date night scent that you can put with your other florals or your other gourmands. This is definitely a good one for y'all to check out. Another one we have here is Tiramisu Speculoos. This was another favorite of mine from last winter and another one for the gourmand girlies. I have two things to say about this one, right? I still love how this smells. This is basically a very realistic caramel cookie type of smell. This basically gives me vibes of like Churrosa 71, but without that buttery note. Super edible, super gourmand. Yeah, I love this, y'all. I still love this, but my only issue with this is the longevity and the performance. For me personally, the bottle that I have, this dissipates after a good 2 hours, which again is not horrible. As you guys can see, I have put still a good little dent in here, but this is also just giving me a good layering scent, a good scent to throw on and go when you want to add some sweetness. I have a lot of scents like that in general because I just find that since I deal with migraines, I am not always in the mood for something beast mode, super long lasting. I like to be able to reapply my scent and kind of control how I am smelling at any given point throughout the day. But if you are wanting a beast mode caramel cookie scent, this is not that for me. I get a solid 2 to 3 hours of wear out of this one before I feel like I need to reapply. I would say it's an intimate to moderate scent bubble, and another one that is highly complimented. So the people that are around you, they will be able to smell this, and you're just going to smell like warm caramel cookies. And I am still a fan of this one and will definitely be keeping this in the rotation. Next up, we have Khamrah Qawha, which if you guys did not see my most recent empties video, I did just empty the OG. So I'm gonna just let you guys know, for the most part, while this does smell similar to the OG Khamrah, even though this is a quote unquote coffee inspired version of that one, I just get a little bit more of a fruity feminine dynamic in comparison to the OG. Makes this one lean slightly more feminine. I feel like the entire Khamrah line is considered unisex, but the OG definitely has that unisex vibe that can go one of two ways. This one feels a little bit more warm, fruity, and feminine to me. And I don't get a ton of coffee in here. It's just kind of a coffee syrup where it is a faint coffee note in here, but for the most part, I'm getting like this really sweet date or prune. I can't even remember that the fruits are in here, but in those sweeter spices with that kind of boozy underlying undertone. But for the most part, y'all, I absolutely love this one. And as you can see, I have been wearing this one a little bit as well. I loved the OG Khamrah. Like, I thought it smelled incredible and it was also super long lasting, but I don't know. There's something about the Qawha that I personally prefer a bit more than the OG now that I have finished it. It leans a little bit more gourmand to me as well. It just has a very addicting quality about it. And I'm excited to keep on wearing this one as well. I have not tried the newest one, the Ducar or the Ducan, but because I've heard that that one is the most masculine leaning one out of all of the Khamrah flankers. So I'm not really a fan of the more masculine leaning scents anyway, so I'm happy with this one and I will definitely continue to wear her out. This next one right here, this one is Lattafa Sehr. And there used to be like a little ball right here, but the cap of this is so heavy that I have dropped it so many times and the ball just fell out and rolled away somewhere at some point, y'all. But anyway, this one is inspired by Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex. I have mixed thoughts about this one because when I first got it, I really loved it, right? I loved it. It was a super sexy, rich, sultry vanilla. I did not get a ton of, I don't know if it's leather or oud. I can't remember the notes on this one, you guys, but I was not getting as strong of a leathery presence as I am getting now, to where this almost has kind of a burnt rubber or burnt tire smell when I wear it. And I promise you, I was not getting that in the first couple of months that I was wearing it. I was really just getting a super sexy, mysterious vanilla with a touch of something a little bit leathery. But for the most part, like, it was almond, it was vanilla. Like, it smelled a lot more gourmand, I would say. Now I'm pulling way more of like a suede leather accord that I'm just not really loving. And this kind of gives me similar vibes to like a YSL Baby Cat, Rosendo Mateau No. 5, like that really leathery, rubbery smelling vanilla. I can't say that I'm loving that about this anymore. I feel like every time I go to wear this, I really only completely love this when it is fully dried down, but I have to get past that first 30 minutes to an hour. It almost kind of leans a bit masculine to me. So I don't know if this one's going to be staying in my collection. I loved it at first, but as you can see, I feel like I've given it at this point over a year of wear and it has changed for the worse for me. If you guys have had this one, let me know your experience with it. I may have to let this one go. There's another one in here that's, again, I loved at first. And that's the thing, y'all, with Middle Eastern fragrances, you can find something that you really, really like at first, and then you end up not liking it, and vice versa. You can find something you absolutely could not stand that you end up really, really enjoying. And Teriaq is one that my mind unfortunately has changed on quite a bit. The past few times that I have worn this, there has been something very sour, just like Lattafa Sehr. There's also something kind of leathery that is just not agreeing with me in my skin. Even when I spray this on clothes, there's a note in here that pulls very rancid for me, and I don't know if it's the apricot or the peach that is just kind of coming across more masculine, more sour. But this is another one that I just thought smelled so good when I first got it. I was getting more of a sweet, fleshy peach, a fleshy like stone fruit, and this really nice vanilla that was coming across. But now that I'm looking at the notes, it makes sense why I'm not vibing with this one. So this one has top notes of caramel, bitter almond, apricot, and pink pepper, middle notes of honey, rhubarb, white flowers, and rose, and base notes of leather, vanilla, musk, labdanum, and vetiver. I am not a rhubarb girl, okay? I am not a rhubarb girl. I feel like every single fragrance that I have tried that has had rhubarb in it, I cannot get with it. There is something about rhubarb that just does not mesh well for me. I don't like how it smells, and I'm definitely getting that in here. But also the honey mixed with the rhubarb, I think is making it come across very animalic. And then we get to the leather that is in the dry down. I think all three of those together are just coming across very rancid and sour smelling to me, to where it's outshining all of the things that I liked about it. The apricot, the pink peppercorn, the caramel, it's outshining all of those things for me, and I just can't enjoy this one anymore. So I will probably be letting this one go. I'm not even gonna bother trying the Intense. I know that the Intense has been out for a while, but I have already heard that that one is also super masculine leaning, or unisex but masculine leaning, and I don't even know that I want to waste my time trying that one either. So unfortunately, while Teriaq was a love for me at first, because I was definitely getting that super sweet caramel peachy DNA, now I am getting more of the honey, more of the rhubarb, and more of the leather, and I just don't enjoy this one anymore, unfortunately. So yeah, the last one we have here is none other than Lattafa's Her Confession, and this is another one, y'all, that I am on the fence about, right? Because when I first got this, I don't know that I absolutely loved this when I first got it, but I do know that there was a point in time I came around to it and I was very much enjoying it. But now this fragrance gives me one of two things. Some days I wear this and I get this really beautiful lactonic creamy white floral that almost kind of smells like a spiced milk or like a horchata. And then other days when I wear this, I get like a musky cinnamon air freshener type of smell, and I don't love it. So it's so annoying, you guys, because the days that I do wear it and I get kind of that gourmand leaning, like sweet horchata cinnamon with these really pretty flowers in the background, I really enjoy the scent. This one is inspired by a very popular niche fragrance called Blanche Bette, if you have not heard of it, and that one is super popular amongst the fragrance community. But I do also feel like that one is kind of polarizing too. So I feel like this is just a very particular, unique type of scent. Like, you have to kind of like your bubblegummy tuberose scents, but you also have to like cinnamon. You also have to like a more lactonic leaning fragrance. For me, the incense note in here is definitely standing out a lot more. So I would just say as a whole, this one in particular, I have not made up my mind or not if I'm going to keep it, because when I do wear it and layer it with the right scent, I very much enjoy it. But this one is just not a blind buy safe scent as a whole. You have to know you love your tuberose. You have to know you just like a very unique lactonic white floral type of scent, or you have to just be on the more adventurous side when it comes to fragrances like this. Because to me, I do feel like this has a little bit more of that Oriental Middle Eastern vibe with that incense in there. I kind of wish the incense wasn't in there, because I would probably enjoy this a lot more. I say all that to say, I do still like this one. I just don't love it as much as I did when I first picked it up. And I have to really do a good job layering to make sure I am not pulling a ton of the incense that is in here, and I'm getting more of that creamy white floral milky DNA that I really liked about this. So all right, you guys, that's it for this maceration update video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys had a similar experience with any of these, because I am dying to know, girl. Okay, I am dying to know if I am alone with some of these scents, if y'all love some of the ones I hated, vice versa. Like, I love to chat with y'all in the comments and just see how we have all had different experiences with some of these fragrances. So anyways, that is all for today's video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.